Hey everyone, welcome back on this new video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can get a notification whenever I upload a new content. In this video, I'm going to talk about again one more time ChatGPT. That's the trend right now. But in this very specific, to be more specific here, I want to highlight how you can make use of ChatGPT to obtain like statistical data, right? Like if you want to get like numbers, statistics, you know or say like how you can make your life easier as a developer, as a data scientist or data analyst, and make a living, right? Make a living and earn much more, because the best way to make a living is to be very efficient in whatever you are doing. You save more time and you make more money. Like I, for example, I'm a freelancer. I do freelancing, as a part-time job, and most of the time I'm a data scientist and you have to code, right? Let's say you are asked to go out there, for a given research, to obtain the data, analyze the data, and then present it, right? Now before you script you get the data, sometimes you have open sources whereby you can just go and get the data, but sometimes it requires a lot of extra work to get the data, like scraping a website or whatever, I don't know, to get the or a database, to get the data and then get to work, right? Say you are not really good in scraping. Okay, you are a data scientist, you can analyze the data, interpret the data, but when it comes to scraping, like, you are not good at it, and you may need maybe to require some other extra services. You hire someone in some ways that will help you get the data and then get the job done. Now today with ChatGPT, what I notice here is like actually you can actually get the data on your own. You don't need to hire anyone to get you the data. You can get it on your own, do your analytics and then interpret and present, and get paid for. So let's say I want to have a data, right? I want to have like real data. I want to know like the US GDP. Say you have an employer, that asks you to go in there and scrape data, obtain data as regard US economy, right? Let's say you want to have the GDP, the inflation rate, um, I don't know, US export, import, whatever, all these economic indicator, the transportation, right? The transportation, how many people are traveling in and out every day, and so on. And you want to get the data. This is something that you can request from ChatGPT. So let's say I want to get USA, okay, here's the United States, okay, economic indicator, okay, such as GDP, okay. I want to have GDP. I want to have consumer price index. It is called CPI, consumer price index. Export, okay, US export, import, okay, um yeah, GDP, consumer price index, export, import, um consumer spending. If you want to, this is a very important, consumer spending, okay, consumer spending. These are the very important, consumer spending, okay. So get the USA economic indicators, so that GDP, CPI, export, import, consumer spending from, let's say I want to get it from 1990. Let's see, let me limit it something very short. I don't wanna, from 2000 to 2010. Let's see what we get, right? Let's see what we get here. So what we have here is like, I apologize, but as a language model, I do not have the capability to provide real-time data in historical data for a specific year. However, I can provide you with some, general information about economic indicator. GDP as gross domestic product. So you have a definition. What's GDP, right? Gross domestic product is a measure of total value of goods and services. And then the CPI, consumer price index, measure the changes in price level, right? And then you have consumer spending, refer to the amount of money consumers spend on goods and services. Okay, during the period of 2000-2010, US economy experienced a period of expansion followed by the recession and so on. So you have all these details. but we do not have the data yet, right? So consumer spending was an important driver of economic growth during this period, but it declined during the recession 2008, 2009. Very good information, but that's not what we want. We want to have the data itself so we can use for any analytics or so on. So instead of asking, since we can get something like this, we will change our request. And this is what I was saying, right? So when you come down here, you can update the request and change the request. So I can update my request here, come down here, get US economic indicator. Instead of me to say get the indicator, I can say I want to scrape. You can use some words, and of course the system will tell you those words are not appropriate, right? But still, those are the kind of words that you use, and then see what we can get. And we have various sources of information. You can use like US Bureau of Statistics. We can use the World Bank. The World Bank also provides this information. We can use UN, the United Nations. They also have some of this information. We could use also the database from Fred, right? Which is actually the United States. The Feds. We can use the Fed database. The Federal Reserve. Of St. Louis. They always have all this economic data. So let's say we wanna, instead of saying get US economic indicator, become precise. Okay, from, let me say, from, okay, World Bank, okay, database. All right, so now this is more specific, and let's see what we have here. Sorry, but I'm not connected to the World Bank database. I'm not able to retrieve specific data you are requesting. However, I can tell you the World Bank provides a wide range of economic indicators and so on. So you have this information. Besides, it also provide tools for visualizing, analyzing data. So, and you can find a wealth of information about US economy. Okay, it is the worth nothing that you can find the data for other indicators and other countries as well. You see, that's what it's telling you. Now, instead of me using get, I will ask another song. I will ask a completely different. I will not say get the US economy. I will say scrape. Okay, or let me say get the code. Okay, let me say that get the Python code. Okay, to scrape. Okay, so get the code to scrape the US economic data. Okay, now let's launch this and see what we get. So you say, I'm sorry, I'm a test-based AI model. Okay, I can have the ability to scrape. I don't have the ability to scrape the data from website. However, I can tell you that the World Bank and so on, we go back again. You see, we have a recommendation here, right? You say API is possible, to access the data programmatically using API provided by the World Bank. Here is an example how you code. So and now we are getting the code here. That's an example here. You see? Cool. Cool. Clearly you can see we have a code here. A code is being provided to us here. You see here it's a copy code. We can copy this code and paste it wherever we want to, and then make use of the code. So you come down here, you can copy, you see, copy, and so you can paste it if you have, like, let's say you have a pattern page open here, in code, and you can paste. All right, you paste it in here, and yeah, you can use it. And obviously you need an API, before you can get any data, but this is very helpful. Okay, because it comes back here with the indicator, with the everything, right, which is very interesting if you ask me. This is very helpful. You can work on this code, you make some few changes. If you have the API, you're good to go, right? Because right now I do not have the API, so even if I launch this code, I may not get anything concrete, but this is very good, right? I can tell you this is very good. See what I'm hearing here? 2010 GDP. You see? Year 2009 GDP. 2008. So we have the GDP here. Okay, this is like what, like $15 billion. 2009, this is like 50 or yeah, 15 billion or 15 trillion, actually 15 trillion, 14 trillion, and so on. So you see, which is amazing, actually, if you ask me. So we have this information from 2000 to 2010. That's the GDP. And I asked for 3 different metrics, right? Because right here, the one we have is the GDP. I can change this. So if you want to, you can update. Instead of having GDP here, change this one to CPI, Consumer Price Index, and then it will scrape it, and so on. You see, I did not write any code. I just asked ChatGPT to provide me with this, and this is what I have here. So I just copy this code, paste it here, and then I have all this information, which is amazing. And you can double check, right? You can go online, whatever whatever I have in here, I can go back in there, and then I check code. This is what I have here as US GDP. Okay, this is something like 15 trillion. So you can go on Google and request, say, okay, what's the US GDP, in 2010, and you will see if it's actually 15 trillion or not. So I can do that like real quick, right? US GDP. Okay, US GDP in 2010. Okay, and this is 15 trillion. You see that it's right here. So to tell you that whatever we have here, is accurate. Okay, is accurate. It's quite accurate. It's 15.05, because this is 4.8, this is 5, right? 15.5, 15.05. So the answer here is very true, and we can check in 2000 also. You can double check to make sure whatever is in script is right. Okay, this is 10 trillion. Okay, 10.25, so that 10.3 if you want to. So we can do the same here. Instead of 2010, I will say 2000 and see what we got. See, 10.25, and this is what I have here, 10.25, which is amazing. So yeah, so the answer is, the feedback, the request, the feedback here is very accurate, and you have all this detail here. Today with ChatGPT, I turn, a 24 hours job in, I turn, a 24 hours job in 2 hours. Clearly you can see how much I'm earning, right? So it's making my life easier, and I think anyone that understands how ChatGPT works, you can capitalize on it. Everything is not perfect, but definitely you will make a hell of money by using this. I hope this helped, and enjoy this. And if you have any questions, do not hesitate to reach out. I'm open to helping here. Have a wonderful day, and do not forget, to share this content if you like it, to your loved ones. And see you on the next video.